But I remember I was surprised because I thought I was kind of a libertarian until I was at a dinner in D.C., as many of these dinners, they exist. And I found that I want to say there was at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 people from Reason Magazine. And I was subscribed to Reason Magazine. And over half of them voted for Obama. And I said, hold on a second, what's going on here? I don't understand how. I thought maybe they would stay home, not vote at that point because of the lesser of two evils. But they actually voted for Obama because they said, even though with all of this that's happened.
They're basing their, basically they're being anti-libertarian party, anti-libertarians. Steven Crowder, a debate dude who will go on anywhere, college campuses, wherever, and debate people, is basing his concern on the Libertarian Party today. It's September of 2022. It's September 16th, 2022. And this bra is talking about 5 people from Reason, which Reason, I don't rock with Reason as some type of arbiter of libertarianism. From 2008, 5 random people from Reason at a dinner. That's the basis of your anti-libertarian take, bruh? I'm finding out a lot about myself doing this channel and what's getting me heated, what's getting me passionate. And I was passionate when Caitlin Johnstone and others attacked MAGA. I have no problem attacking MAGA. You might think, well, I'm biased because I have super MAGA gear on. Well, fine. MAGA just means populist to me. Just remember that. It doesn't mean allegiance to anything at all. I feel free. I don't have allegiance to anybody, so I can slam DeSantis one day. I appreciate Alex Jones. I like Steven Crowder. That's not changing here. But on this topic, I like MAGA and I like libertarians, and they're going to have to work together. See, we all might not be doing this for the same reason. Steven Crowder, Alex Jones, maybe even those might be doing it for money or whatever. You got to eat. So I'm not knocking that. But I'm doing this because I want a better, long-term, a better world for my children. That's my number one thing. You got to set this thing up. I look at this thing at 20 years at a time, generation by generation. When my kids are 20, have we done the step-by-step work to make that place, make it a better world for them? They're going to have to do some of that work too, but have we laid the groundwork for it? I'm not making any money. Who knows? Things can change. That's not where I am right now. And why I'm saying that is I don't know what their intent is, and I don't know if they care, but I am passionate about this. If you're going to go after libertarians, you better come with a strong argument. Do not half-step. There ain't no half-stepping with that. And I went after the Libertarian New Hampshire account when they went after Trump and they were half-stepping. And I'm way more upset at Crowder and Alex Jones the other way for this. This is some nonsense. If you haven't seen the clip, it's been kind of going viral and all that. So they somehow got onto the topic of libertarians. And I know that there's been this thing going on with Crowder for a minute. I haven't really gotten into it because I don't really care because he had never attacked libertarians. I have heard Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk kind of says, I'm not a libertarian. But he does it in a respectful manner, and Charlie Kirk is always well-sourced, and he's well-founded. So he was talking to Michael Malice, said, I don't like libertarians anymore. Here's my reason.
I think some parts of libertarianism are far too focused on abstractions, like way too focused on it. Like I've read all the books, okay? I read Rothbard, I read Mises, I read Bastiat, I read Friedman, I read Rand. I mean, I could quote a lot of it. I understand it deeply. And then I realized that a lot of it is just very idealistic, built for academic arguments. It can be helpful and instructive at times, but it's not, I don't believe it's a governing principle or a way to live your life at all.
And I had no problem with it. No, okay, I don't agree with you. You want to be authoritarian, that's fine. Do you?
But I remember I was surprised because I thought I was kind of a libertarian until I was at a dinner in D.C., as many of these dinners, they exist. And I found that I want to say there was at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 people from Reason Magazine. And I was subscribed to Reason Magazine. And over half of them voted for Obama. And I said, hold on a second, what's going on here? I don't understand how. I thought maybe they would stay home, not vote at that point because of the lesser of two evils. But they actually voted for Obama because they said, even though with all of this that's happened.
They're basing their, basically they're being anti-libertarian party, anti-libertarians. Steven Crowder, a debate dude who will go on anywhere, college campuses, wherever, and debate people, is basing his concern on the Libertarian Party today. It's September of 2022. It's September 16th, 2022. And this bra is talking about 5 people from Reason, which Reason, I don't rock with Reason as some type of arbiter of libertarianism. From 2008, 5 random people from Reason at a dinner. That's the basis of your anti-libertarian take, bruh? You're better than that, man. You are so better than that. That makes no sense. Who voted for Obama at the time? So what? I voted for Obama. I don't really rock with the Reason people like that. But voting for Obama, like that's like the end of the world. Let me know where you are now. I don't even, if you tell me about somebody's take in 2019, that's the before times. Even January of 2020, that's the before times, much less '08. How many people who voted for Obama '08 are rocking MAGA gear right now? Why is he going back to '08?
You were sort of self-identified as a libertarian for a long time, and I always said I'm kind of small L libertarian. I don't do that anymore. And the
Wait, come again?
reason is because you still have libertarians saying,
So he's not even talking about the party. He says that small L libertarian. That was the first time when I first heard this clip. I'm listening to this stuff in real time, and I'm like, wait a second.
Spider sense start tingling.
I'm not little. See, little L means I'm for liberty, not a libertarian party label or any type of other label that means I'm for liberty. So I need that before we even get into this. That needs to be explained, and it can only be if you're not for little L liberty, you are an authoritarian. You appeal to authority. Period. There's no MBA. There's no middle on that. Either you're for liberty or you're not.
you were sort of self-identified as a libertarian for a long time, and I always said I'm kind of small L libertarian. I don't do that anymore.
Spider sense start tingling.
You were sort of self-identified as a libertarian for a long time, and I always said I'm.
So this is conscious here. They weren't talking about this is a great interview, great sit down. I like when Crowder does these with the cigar or whatever sit downs. They weren't talking about libertarianism at all. He brought it up because he wanted to attack it. That's why he brought it up. Crowder. That's why I'm going harder on Crowder. Alex Jones wasn't going to bring this up. Crowder brought this up.
Kind of small L libertarian. I don't do that anymore.
I can't get over that. I don't do small L libertarian anymore. You don't, huh, Crowder? You know who was right about this? And people were asking me, why do I still rock with Dr. Karlin Borisenko? I rock with her because she's brilliant. She's heavily flawed. I get that. And I've tried to give her my piece, and I think she's banned on Twitter, so I don't even have interaction with her like that anymore. She's great, though. She's really brilliant. Heavily flawed, has done some things that are like, damn, I can't hardly even rock with you because of these things, but I still do. And she had never came at me. We've had disagreements, and I know she comes hard. I think as long as you're respectful with her, she's respectful back to you. Because she will ban people. She bans her own. She is hardcore on her channel. If you don't know Dr. Carl, she's great. She's brilliant. On her YouTube, though, like if you come sideways, she's like, ban, ban, ban. I'm like, the only reason I would ban somebody is if you spam the chat. If you spam the chat and people can't talk, then it's like it's not communication. You're trying to control things, and we don't do that. But my point is, forget about all the other stuff with her, which is troubling. Don't get me wrong. She called this out way before. She was going ham on conservatives. Why? Because she said they're not for liberty. And there's going to be, I'm not going to speak for her, but this is my interpretation. They are going to turn on you. Because if you're not for liberty, you are for power. So if libertarians don't go under the fold, you're going to see, even talking about Trump and all that. So I'm wearing MAGA now. I've said it multiple times. There might be a time, I expect that there will be a time I will have to turn on MAGA. That time hasn't come yet, but the time's come for Steven Crowder, though.
And the reason is because you still have libertarians saying, well, the First Amendment only protects you from the government, not from corporations. But when you look at and I'm not talking about a conspiracy, just when you look.
That is true. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, that's absolutely true. The First Amendment only protects you from the government, not private corporations.
The 3 whatever billion that Amex has gotten, let alone when you look at these banks, let alone when you look at the Section 230 protections for big tech. There's no longer a dividing line between corporations, a free market, which I support. These are effectively thug arms of the government and libertarian.
Okay, so what you're saying, Stephen, is they aren't private companies. So the argument still stands. Free speech protects you from the government, not private corporations. You just described the government merging with private corporations. That means they are essentially an administrative branch of the government. They are not private companies anymore, so the argument doesn't fall apart. He's smarter than me. What is going on? What kind of ass clown argument is this, Stephen? I've never heard Steven Crowder this. Maybe it's, 2 years isn't a long time. I would say I listen to him at least a couple times a week. I love his show. That's stupid for him. And that I have to say that because I hold him to a high standard. That is asinine. It's what you're describing isn't a private corporation. So the argument from libertarians still holds. And it's not even just libertarians, it's any constitutionalist. So I consider myself a populist, nationalist, constitutionalist, MAGA libertarian. I love that. I don't know what's going on with his brain. I think what this is, when you appeal to power, and things are getting heated right now, when you roll up on literally the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, because he's a brilliant marketer, and it's a coincidence. They rolled up on the guy, the number one guy in the country, who's driving around and telling states, why are your votes run through a private corporation? Does that make any sense? Oh, when you want to go and do an audit and tally your votes, you have to go beg a private corporation. And then when you do beg them, they say, kick rocks. You think that makes sense? And he's the one they roll up on. Just a coincidence, huh?
Libertarianism cannot stand up in the face of that.
I 100% agree with you. And
so then he said libertarian, I don't even know what this means. Libertarianism can't stand up to the face of fascism is basically what he's saying. Government merging with private corporations. He doesn't even, I don't know what it is. It might be ignorance. I think it's malicious because he's appealing to power and ignoring kind of philosophies. Libertarians want to decentralize the government and decentralize corporations, both. When you decentralize in a true free market, now you would have to have boundaries because it is possible, and I've talked about it on the channel, that in the libertarian utopia, that defense contractors, for example, would become the new powers. So you have to have some type of check and balance there to make sure, because in a free market, what happens is consolidation tends to happen. That would happen in libertarianism. Say you wipe out all the state boundaries right now and it's just free for all. ANCAP heaven. It's the wild, wild west. Over time, what happened from the wild, wild west to now would repeat itself. Over time, you're going to get consolidation and you're going to get more and more power, centralized government. It won't stay the wild, wild west. And that's the same thing with corporations. You decentralize them. Naturally, you're going to have, okay, I'm a corporation that's doing what, even if it's not a buyout, you'll see them merge. So say you say we have 20 defense contractors now, because you're still going to need national, defense, security, and weapons. You will still need that. And say somehow in the libertarian utopia, you decentralize and you have 20 of them. Well, 2 of them might get together and say, well, let's get together. We have more resources, economy of scale, we have more power, and then we can get rid of, because in business, it's like warfare. Business is warfare, period. And you want to gain power. So you slowly over time, it would consolidate back to, what do we have now? 5 or I don't even know if we have 5 major defense contractors. So that is the concern. So you would have to put stuff in place, but that doesn't. What do you mean libertarians don't have the answers to fight that? What's your answer to fight that?
In fact, I'm no longer even a little L libertarian. I'm anti-libertarian. And
Oh my God. These are two influential dudes. This is inexcusable stuff, Alex. You're not even a little L libertarian anymore? You see, they're feeding off of each other, and the craziness of our world, Alex Jones going through his trial, which I fully support him. I did a segment on that the other day. It's making these people go crazy. We need libertarians more than ever right now. Right now is the time for libertarians to shine. If now's not the time to shine, it never will be. We need you. That's why I rock with the Libertarian Party now. Because when somebody, imagine, look at it from Alex Jones' perspective. He got banned from social media because of the centralized power. Now they're going after him money-wise and reputation-wise. They're trying to annihilate him. They literally said in the trial, we want to stop him. The trial isn't about stopping anyone. It's just defamation and how much you pay out. No, it's not about how we want enough to just completely annihilate this dude, eliminate his company, eliminate him, cancel him from, this is cancel culture to the nth degree, cancel him from public square, public life. Pretend that you're Alex Jones and the corporate Republicans and Democrats and the interests behind you are going after you like that. And it's akin to you're just minding your own business, or maybe you're doing something well, and then somebody comes up to you and just punches you straight in the face. What's the natural instinct? To get up and punch them back in the face. That's why he's saying I'm not little L anymore. He's saying they're punching me. They're going after Trump. They're going after Lindell. They're going after Navarro. Devin Nunes was on Timcast. It was a great episode, breaking it all down. They put Tim Cast on the J6 committee. And I really respect Tim Cast. Tim Pool has never said, I want to do to them what they did to me. Much respect for that, because that's what they're doing. Be better than that, Alex Jones. Be better. That is disgusting. All you're doing is trying to be like them. So how can I even, I'm still going to, I still watch them, and this is making me sour though. This is making me sour on you. I'm no longer little L anymore. How you sound right now? That means you want to be king. Charlie Kirk says, Charlie Kirk's like, I don't rock with the libertarians. Steven Crowder's like, I don't rock with the libertarian. Not even the Libertarian Party. I don't rock with the little L libertarians. I'm not for liberty. Imagine how crazy it would sound. That's what they said. I'm not for liberty anymore. That should be the headline. Alex Jones and Steven Crowder say, I'm no longer for liberty. If that was the headline, and it should be the headline, people would be like, what the hell? What are you talking about? That means they're no longer for the Constitution. You understand that, right? What's happened is the Democrats and Republicans have broken down, and I said, if I use the word unconstitutional, slap me in the face, period. And what's happening is they're thinking the same thing. What are we talking about unconstitutional? They're bastardizing it. It's done. The Supreme Court is a backstop. You can't run to the Supreme Court all the time. It takes money, sometimes years and time. And what's happening now is it's being violated so much, like the Supreme Court can't even keep up with it. The Supreme Court's almost irrelevant. So they're basically saying, forget the Constitution. We want control of the corporations. We want control of the government, and we will tell people what to think. And Dr. Karlin Borisenko was ahead of that curve on that. She went out on a limb. She went harder at them than anybody else. I didn't like it, but she, at the time, well, I was mixed feelings about it. I always thought she was right, but I thought she was too abrasive. But now you look at this, I look like the fool. She was 100% right. You go to Wayback Machine and maybe you could find her tweets. I don't know. She was, or just go to her videos. She was 100% right on where the conservatives, and these are popular, especially Alex Jones is a populist. He's not a Republican. They said I'm no longer little L libertarian.
Collapse of civilization to force us onto a Cloward and Piven model.
Sort of self-identified as a libertarian for a long time. And
I'm anti-libertarian.
He said
the
I'm
Section 230 protection
anti-libertarian.
for
Alex Jones, that means you're anti-liberty.
big tech. This is there's no longer a dividing line between corporations, a free market, which I support. These are effectively thug arms of the government, and libertarianism cannot stand up in the face of that.
I 100% agree with you. In fact, I'm no longer even a little L libertarian. I'm anti-libertarian. And I'll explain why. 30 years ago, when I was first starting to get on air, 25 years.
So let me address this comment here. And I understand where you're coming from with this comment. So first of all, let me say that. The comment is from Fat Old Hideous Guy. The Libertarian Party seems like leftist. So here's his comment. Seems like libertarians these days are leftist tankies. They were. I mean, just last cycle, 2020, you had Joe Jurgensen say, it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. Yeah, that's beyond left. That's authoritarian. That was from the Libertarian Party. I get it. The people who were in charge of the Libertarian Party before the Reno reset, they caused immeasurable damage to the reputation and the liberty movement. I did a video, I've showed it on the channel, where I talked about a little bit about my journey when I said I knew that these people didn't represent everybody, but the Libertarian Party was a joke. It was a clown show. It was nothing but leftists who were basically, Alex Jones is going to say that here in a second, sleeper cells, basically taking votes away from Republicans to let Democrats win, corporate Democrats or corporate Republicans. Yes, it was. Those days are over. Go search Reno Reset. I did a video on the channel about it. And hopefully I did it justice. I need to do more and get it a little bit more polished. It was a little rough around the edges. But the people in charge now, Angela McArdle, Dave Smith, Michael Heiss, who I say is the Steve Bannon of the Mises Caucus and the Liberty Movement, these are brilliant people. They are well thought out. They are not the leftists. So you are right, Fat Old. I don't even mean to call you Fat Old. That's your name. You are right. But that's not it anymore. The Libertarian Party, get the message out. If you want to help, you don't have to donate money to people all the time. Sometimes this is more powerful than donating money. Go tell somebody the Libertarian Party is under new management. Check them out. Comic Dave Smith, part of the problem. Robbie the Fire Bernstein. I've been on his show a couple times. Great dude. Love that movement. They're taking the Ron Paul movement and modernizing it and making it their own. But because of all this damage, they've got a lot of work to clean up. And maybe Alex Jones and Steven Crowder really don't know. I find that hard to believe.
Ago, Republicans were pretty bad news, wanted to censor everybody, had a lot of problems.
Right.
The left hadn't turned into this pro.
Hey, Ray, I'm going to have to disagree with Ray. Ray says, these are good comments, so let me just stop it here and kind of vibe with these comments. Of course, friend of the show, check out his channel, click him, and a member of the channel. Appreciate you, Ray. Hopefully we're going to be doing a live show in January in person with Carlos and Ray and Saul, hopefully. Ray Studio says, I don't think Alex is anti-libertarian like you think. I think he means the libertarians that say they are libertarians but act like leftists. That's not what Bruh said. And my take is they can clean it up. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. Or their arguments need to be better founded. They both said, I am no longer little L. So that doesn't have anything to do with the Libertarian Party or any other libertarians. Little L means I'm not with the party. Just like if you say I'm a little C conservative, that just means I might be thrifty. I'm frugal. I'm not spending my money. I'm kind of safe. That doesn't mean I'm a political party. When they say little L, they're just talking about liberty, period. They're not even talking about the party. So Alex Jones said, I'm no longer little L. In fact, I'm anti-L. So he can clean that up, and Ray, you could be right, but that's not what he said. And I need them to clean that up. And I need them to understand in the bigger strategy of things, libertarians are not your enemy. Why are you wasting time going after them? You're fracturing, if you look at the right now, you're either hooked up into the hive mind where you get the instructions from your masters, or you're not. So that includes populist left, that includes libertarians, disaffected liberals. Tim Pool is a disaffected liberal. Naomi Wolf is a disaffected liberal. They're not MAGA. They're not Republicans. In the case of Naomi Wolf, she's on the War Room talking to Steve Bannon damn near every day, and she doesn't even like Donald Trump. So everyone's lumped in together. So there's no need to fight anybody in that group. Everybody in that group needs to band together to go against the cabal. The cabal doesn't do this kind of stuff. So they need to clean this up for me, or you all might be tired of hearing me go after them, just specifically on this topic. I need this cleaned up. How can you clean it up? Bring Comic Dave Smith, Crowder. Comic Dave Smith will debate anybody, anytime, anywhere on your channel. It doesn't matter, because he's got the ideas. He's smart. He doesn't care. Just like Carrie Lake, it's like Carrie Lake told Katie Hobbs, you can write the questions. She was dead serious. Katie Hobbs still didn't want those problems. Invite Comic Dave Smith. He is the #1 voice for liberty. He should be the 2024 candidate. There's other good guys out there. Larry Elder is great. I mean, there's many other people who are great, but get Comic Dave Smith on your show, not about a debate, about a discussion. And then clean this up. This is a mess, guys.
Pedophiles, Satan worship, cancer it is completely yet. So I didn't like them.
You just hit the trifecta. Go on.
So I thought, well, libertarians want to leave people alone socially, but they want a smaller government. They must be good. But it was big think tanks and big money funding libertarians. So conservatives would always think of corporations as perfect.
Yes, Monopoly, I do see that the Libertarian Party failed that test. It's under new management. I see I do need to do a lot more videos on this. I will be doing shorter video segments on this topic. It's under new management, and they are on point. Everyone go to, I'm going to stop this right now because this is more important. To me, this is the #1 voice in the Libertarian Party right now, and should be the candidate for president, Dave Smith. So just search Dave Smith in YouTube, and you get Dave Smith, and he does a show with Robbie the Fire and Bernstein, and it's called Part of the Problem. That's the Libertarian Party, right? If you want to know where the Libertarian Party is, they de-wokeified. I think I might need to bring this back up. They de-wokeified the Libertarian Party. It is not the same asshats that were there before. They got them out of there. They ran them up out of there. It was I don't know if it's ever happened before. It's in a business, in an industry as big as that. The Libertarian Party is the 3rd largest party. Now that's kind of misleading because MAGA is a separate party, so it's really the 4th. But whatever, it's the 2nd organic behind MAGA most powerful movement. There's only 2 organic movements that mean anything politically right now. When I say organic, not corporate, MAGA and libertarians. That's it. And when you see those 2 groups fighting, we are losing. They might be making money off of the buzz and the trending, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care about Steven Crowder's money. We are losing if MAGA and libertarians are fighting. We are losing. I have no problem with saying, hey, here's where we're different. There can't be a drag out, because here's the thing, and Comic Dave Smith was very reserved. I don't think he's going to stay reserved if y'all keep talking like this. And it's going to be a flat out big war, political war, and that hurts all of us. So don't let them make this about money or maybe if it isn't even about money, if they get views and hits off of that, you can't let them be driven by that. Because if they get hits and views off of this kind of stuff, they'll be doing more attacks on libertarians, potentially. We've got to control them, just like politicians, just like you in the chat got to say, hey, you're out of line here, or whatever the case is. You've got to give them the feedback. But basically, it's basically just talking about how Comic Dave Smith, Michael Heiss was really the one behind it, took over the party, and now they are running it. Everybody in a position of power is from what was the Mises Caucus is now running the Libertarian Party. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Look up Mises Caucus, Mises Caucus, and let me know what you think.